Okay guys, today I'm going to show you how I make my cactus mix for seedlings. It works pretty good for me. Might not work for other people, but this is how I do it and it works well. So we start with 4 quarts of potting soil and 4 quarts of turf base. And then I also add in a little cup of bone meal, about this size. Then you're also going to need some expanded shale. Alright, so let's move this off to the side. I use these flats with these inserts because they're easy to use. Use the flat with the holes, with no holes in the bottom. Use these heavy duty ones from Greenhouse Megastore. What you're going to do is you're going to fill the bottom of each one of these with about 1 inch of expanded shale. Then you're going to fill each one of these pots with your mixture. As you go, try to pick out these big clumps of bark, sticks. If the seeds sprout on top of them, they won't grow right. Get all that stuff out of there. Alright, so we got our soil in here. Next thing you're going to do is get a colander like this and scoop up some potting soil. Then we're going to sprinkle this over the top. Get a fine layer across the top for the seeds to make good contact with. So the next, you're going to take this out, take one of these out. Take one of these out, and you get some water. Pour that on in there. Get the soil moist. Then we're going to spray the tops so the seeds don't bounce out. They kind of stick to the surface. You're putting the seeds in there. Got a whole bunch of seeds this year. A lot of them from Mesa Gardens, random people on forums on Facebook. We got a lot of tephra cactus, a bunch of trichocereus. We're going to use some of these from Mesa Garden. There they are. A bunch of little seeds. There's 100 of them in there. Let's see, what are these? Ferrocactus latispinus spiralis. So we're going to sprinkle these over the surface. These are pretty tiny, so we could probably fit all 100 of them in one of these little cups in one of the pots here. And then after we do that, we're going to spray it with water to water them down into the soil I typically label these with numbers instead of what they are, because I do a spreadsheet. So these are going to be number 47 in my spreadsheet. So I just tag them like that. Let me finish potting up the rest of these and I'll show you what I do next. Alright, here we are in the grow room. I'm done sowing all the seeds that I was out in the greenhouse doing earlier. We're going to go ahead and put them in here. Put these humidity domes on there. I use these Vipar Spectra 300 watt adjustable LEDs. I keep the lights at 50%. If I keep them at full blast, it starts bleaching them out, killing them. So I keep it at 50% and they seem to do okay. As they grow, I'll turn them up to 75, and as they get a little bit bigger, I'll turn it to 100%. Like these guys over here. These guys are all at 100%. So these should all sprout in a few days. Once they start sprouting, I'll show you the next step to my process. Okay, we're 3 days in after sowing the seeds. It appears we already have some Copiapoa starting to sprout. I don't know if you can see those guys. I'll try to take a macro shot of them. A couple over there. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to inoculate these trays with springtails. They eat mold, they eat all kinds of stuff that could harm the seeds, harm your seedlings. They do really good. I have them in these containers over here, and the seedlings have done really, really well for me this year. No mold growth in any of the containers. I'll show you what the springtails that I use look like. A lot of times you could find them at like specialty reptile stores. There's one here in Dallas. I'll post a link below, the name of the store. They carry them. Sometimes you can get them at reptile shows. They have them. Anybody that specializes in like terrariums, because people use them for upkeep in their terrariums. So what I've done was I've taken a pot out of this flat and I put it in this flat here, and then I swapped the pot out of this and put it in there. So those pots will end up having springtails, and this whole flat will end up having springtails, and then I'll move them as time goes on. I'll move them from flat to flat, so all these will have springtails eating fungus and bacteria and rotten stuff and organic matter. They put nitrogen back into the soil, and it really does well for my seedlings. I've done this these two flats with the springtails, and it really worked out good. Something I forgot to mention earlier in the video is I keep this grow room about 82 degrees during the day, and then down at night it gets down around 74, 72, somewhere around there. So I don't use heat mats on anything, and all my seeds do well. It really helps to have temperature control when you're doing seeds, and having a Mylar tent was a benefit for temperature control, temperature and humidity control. Anyways, I'll post a picture or another video in a couple of months when all these seedlings are a lot bigger. Keep these guys in the humidity as long as possible, in these humidity domes as long as possible. Sometimes I have them in there for a year and a half. I have some Gymnocalycium here that have been in this thing for, I don't know, a year and a half, and they're still super tiny. I'll do this with one hand, but they're all still doing good and alive and doing their thing. So Keep them in there for probably 6 months to a year. When I start noticing, if I ever start noticing like rot or damping off or anything like that, and seedlings are dying, overcrowding, that's when I take them out, split them up, and then I put them into something like this. It's a kitty litter box, extra large kitty litter box. When I go to split them up and repot them, I'll show you my soil mixture for that. All right. So that's pretty much it. Y'all have a good one.